Good evening, Namaskar. A very warm welcome to the last panel of Water Innovation Summit 2020. ILET's Water Innovation Summit 2020 is being organized in host partnership with the Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India, and country partnership with Embassy of Israel in New Delhi. The event is being supported by Namami Gange, UNICEF India, Almora District Administration, and National Water Mission. We had a very long and very elaborate panel discussion throughout the day, starting from the Secretary Ministry of Jal Shakti, who was there in the program inaugural. We had the honor of also hosting the ambassadors of Israel and Denmark in the program inaugural early in the morning today. They gave us an overall holistic world's perspective on the water management and water conservation. Throughout the day, we had very interesting sessions on water sustainability. We had sessions on digitization of water utilities, wastewater treatment, water recycling, and saving this precious resource of the planet. Now coming to this last panel discussion, which is on a very, very interesting topic, that the future of water. The future of water is one of the most crucial aspects of humanity which we are facing today. Because water is such a precious resource that with each day, the resources of water are depleting because of either climatic factors or because of population growth or because of rapid industrialization. So with each passing day, the pressure on the water is increasing, the pressure on water consumption is increasing, the demand for water is increasing, and the onus is lying on the entire humanity as a whole, to ensure that we adopt such meaningful measures and practices which leads to optimum and efficient utilization of water. So what will be the future? How are we placed vis-a-vis the availability is concerned, vis-a-vis supply is concerned? So we are all going to discuss in this very eminent panel. We have got very eminent panelists here. We'll be very shortly joined by Mr. Bhopal Singh. He's a Director General for National Water Development Agency. We are having with us Mr. Vaibhav Srivastav. He's a District Magistrate from District Magistrate Raebareli in Uttar Pradesh. We have Dr. Piyush Singla. He's the Deputy Commissioner for from Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir. And then finally, we have Mr. Shashi Ranjan. He's a Deputy Commissioner in Jharkhand. Now, Mr. Bhopal Singh is back with us, the Director General of National Water Development Agency. I had already requested the DG NWD to kindly moderate this session and also to chair the session. So over to you, Mr. Bhopal Singh.
Thank you, Ms. Raji, and sorry, there was some problem in my computer and it again rebooted when I was sharing the presentation. Anyhow, welcome to all the participants and all my fellow panelists. We are having good discussions from the morning and good work is being carried out. And this is the last session. I hope this session will be equally lively. Uh, so, uh, uh, as I see that we have in panelists, we have many young district from district DM and commissioners in our panel, and so they will be sharing their good work being carried out by them, and I will also be doing presenting a paper on ensuring water security, presenting a country perspective. So. I will speak in the end. First, let us begin to hear what good work is being carried out on the ground. That is very heartening to know. So, I think we can start with the Vaibhav Srivastav to share his work and his views on in the field of water. This one. Over to Vaibhav.
Good evening, sir. Thanks for providing me this platform for sharing my experiences. So, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead. You are audible.
So, I was that time district magistrate of Pilibhi. It's an agrarian district, basically, and rice, wheat, and sugar canes are the basic agriculture activities which were being taken up by the farmers. And as a result of that, we were losing our groundwater table in every year. One more menace was there. It's called Satha paddy. Satha paddy generally they harvest in the summer season, which is not the rice season as per se. So they basically depend on the groundwater completely. And as the normal paddy takes 3000 liter per grains kg requirement is water is for 3000 liters per kg. Satha paddy takes 9000 liter per kg grains. So it was a huge and big menace to tackle with. And previously, as district magistrate, Mau, the ponds were definitely my focus area that time as well. So we had renovated almost 900 ponds in a year, which resulted in a very good improvement in water table level, groundwater table level. So we had increased it from 6.2 to 3.3 in that particular year. So I was very sure that in Pilibhit also we can do similar to that. So we had 721 gram panchayats. I distributed target for all gram panchayats to minimum excavate one such pond which is existing in the revenue records, but on the field its existence is lost. So that way we created almost 1123 ponds. And similarly, as the monsoon season was reaching nearby, so I asked them to have some ponds excavated through JCB from their State Finance Commission fund. So approximately 445 ponds we excavated through State Finance Commission fund, and it was, as a resulting results, all more than 1700 ponds were excavated. Similarly, our focus was on soak pits as well, and more than 7,000 pits across the district were made to prevent the groundwater table. And we also emphasized on the water harvesting system, or approximately 17 of them, though it was in very initial stage. We constructed 17 rainwater harvesting system. And while we uploaded our this for water resource ministry website, then we were not having these our pre-monsoon data for 2020. And it's really, I'm glad to share that when the 2020 pre-monsoon groundwater table we have received, so we have matched the level of 2010. Matlab, we our groundwater table level is better than 2010. We had groundwater table of 3.8 meters, which now we are having 3.64. So my experience is that even though with the Satha paddy and one more thing, that we had received only 58% of monsoon last year. Pilibhit was continuously facing a decreased rainfall problem. So even with that, if we are able to increase our water table level, then I think it's very heartening. And this time, I just got transferred from Pilibhit. So I think after this monsoon, which was quite good this time, almost normal monsoon we had Pilibhit in this year. So post monsoon, I am very sure that we are going to improve it even further. So these are my experience with the groundwater table. And yes, we try to aware people as well, because when they most farmers are having these new pumps to harvest their crops, so they are using it completely miserably, because certain way of awareness is required among them to use it wisely. And secondly, we also need to incorporate some new and incorporate measures, and to induct new technologies in the agriculture, such as sprinkling agriculture, to prevent the water table level for further depletion. So this was all my experience to share with all the stakeholders here.
Thank you, Srivastava, for taking these good initiative in the field of water sector and water conservation. And I hope all these ponds and you have created, they are
Yeah,
geotagged.
we tagged with the Manrega.
I
Geotag
understand.
are basically
Good.
these ponds
Manre-
are basically recharge
Yeah.
units, because we don't do any kind of surfacing in that, and they are basically, they work as water recharge pools for us.
So definitely, if we continue in this field and continue creating water bodies, water harvesting, water table is bound to improve. So,
Even
and
in my
this
new
will,
district, Raebareli, I have given targets for all panchayats to at least excavate 1100 such ponds which are existing in the revenue documents but not available in the field. So, and all the panchayats, we have mandatory made provisions that they will all have rainwater harvesting. So, I am hopeful to see positive results here as well.
thank you, Vaibhav. And I am hopeful you will continue this good work everywhere you are posted.
Certainly,
Uh,
sir.
yeah. Then we move to the next speaker. I think we can go to Dr. Piyush. Uh, if you are ready. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I'm quite happy to be part of this August gathering, sir. First and foremost, sir, the project which we conceived in District Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir is by the title of called जीविका. बेसिकली जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में एक सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम देखा जाता है सर. आई थिंक इट मस्ट बी इन अदर एरियाज ऑफ द अदर डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री एज वेल. वी हैव एम्पल रिसोर्सेज ऑफ वाटर अवेलेबल, बट दैट वाटर रिमेन्स अनटैप्ड. जैसे बहुत सारे यहाँ पे हम लोकल लैंग्वेज में उनको कुल्स बोलते हैं, जिसे हम लोकल नालाज कहते हैं. द वाटर इज फ्री फ्लोइंग, बट दैट वाटर हैज नेवर बीन टैप्ड. The project we consider is largely revolving around the idea of increasing the farmer's income using the water conservation. The tagline of the project is Jal Sarakshan Jeevan Parivartan. Largely it is from the perspective of a farmer. Uh, इस प्रोजेक्ट के अंडर सर जितना भी हमारे पेरिनियल वाटर बॉडीज हैं उनको हम लोकल लेवल पर टैप करके वाटर को एक पॉन्ड में उसको हम उसमें स्टोर कर रहे हैं. दीज आर यूनिक वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स. we are using a 500 micron plastic sheet to line that pond water harvesting structure. The water is pumped from the local perennial water resource. Maybe it can be a nala or it could be some other perennial source. That water is tapped into water harvesting structure. Then through a tank, the water is then made to go in the fields. We are using drip irrigation ahead of it. So simultaneously, along with it, we are giving a vermicompost unit and a poly house. So Jivika project is about the integration model of at the cluster based model, जिसमें ये 5 components को मिलाकर, which includes drip irrigation, which includes water harvesting structure, poly house, vermicompost. As an integrated model, we are providing this to farmer. The idea was at most of the places we have been observing that if there is one component available, normally there is a deficiency of the other component. And when all the components are not integrated, we are finding that farmer income, as we always envisage that there should be doubling of farmer income, we are not seeing to that level as it should have been. So the larger project is conceptualized around increasing farmers income. Normally, as would have been in other areas also, there is a normal cropping pattern. Wheat, maize was the routine cropping pattern. We want to get crop diversification into picture. For crop diversification, unless there is a efficiency at water usage level, so unless we see water usage efficiency, rather than flooding the fields with water, there should be some micro irrigation through drip involving round the clock availability of water. That was the project all about. Uh, Under this project, we are developing 250 clusters. One cluster has around 7 to 8 farmers. When I say cluster, it largely means that there will be one big water harvesting pond, one perennial source being tapped into that water harvesting tank. But the farmers with different fields will be having multiple micro irrigation sets, drip irrigation sets, and multiple head raise structures which would be pumping the water through gravity through these drip irrigation sets. Similarly, vermicompost units and poly houses would be given on the base of the number of farmers. So this integrated model of farming system model constitutes one cluster model under Jivika project. We have decided to give around 250 clusters throughout the district. So far, we have been able to complete 40 clusters at far-flung areas. Uh, I would like to say something on the how the project was conceptualized and how it was finally executed on the ground. The toughest part was the planning of the project, because largely whenever we say water conservation, it largely revolves around one aspect, that water harvesting ponds should be there. There should be water availability in those ponds. But here the concept was different. We want to check those areas where uh, through gravity we can tap the water availability where there are perennial water resources. So a joint survey by Agriculture and Rural Development Department was done. So it's a project largely which revolves around two departments, that is Rural Development Department and Agriculture Department. After exhaustive survey of the feasibility, these locations were identified and the willingness of the farmer to participate, because normally we have seen whenever we talk of crop diversification, the participation from the farmers have never been that enthusing. So to ensure that happens on the ground, they themselves become drivers of the economy by taking part in the project. The feasibility was studied. As we are speaking, 40 clusters have been completed so far. Analysis was done, a detailed survey was done about the increase in the farmers' income. If I cite, there are two clusters. I give the example of two clusters. One is Chatrambal cluster, other is Malhar clusters. It has been visited by Central Water Commission also, representative of Central Water Commission. They have authenticated the technology and the convergence model which have been adopted by the district. We have noted that in those cluster models, after crop diversification, the farmers are able to generate income to the tune of 8 to 10 times. So when we say about the doubling of the farmers income, largely that means the hampering factor has always been water availability, round the clock water availability for a farmer. When this water is available in adequate quantity round the clock to a farmer, then using water use efficiency through drip irrigation, they have actually got very good results. Our target is for the district is 250 cluster models. Coming to the funding part of the whole scheme, it has been dovetailed to the number of existing schemes. We have The district has roped in its own untied resources. Then we have got support from MP-led funds from our honorable member of parliament. Similarly, MG Narega was the main scheme under which the digging was done. So the convergence of such schemes were able to give us the desired results. We want to replicate it. Now this project has gone to the state, and state has further projected this project under NABARD for taking up many more clusters, so that more vegetable hubs could be created in the district, which could be the main driver of the economy for the area. As we all know that since the topic of the panel before us is the what are the future challenges? In my opinion, the biggest future challenge we see is in the agriculture department, in agriculture, because 70 to 80% of the water is being still being used in the agriculture, and if it could be more rationally utilized by means of various micro irrigation facilities, by more rationally utilizing as per the cropping pattern rather than flooding the areas with the fallow use of water, I think we would be able to save many good amount of water for other industrial usages. It could be used more rationally. So this was the whole experience of district Udhampur. Uh, I got to hear experience of Vaibhav sir from Rai Bareli. So thanks for having me here. We'll continue to strive to such measures in future also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Piyush, for sharing your experiences and doing a good job. And of course, it will change the life of the people. This one. So I just had two queries, small queries. One is you said that in the pond you are using micro seeds. So that is primarily to check the infiltration, I understand. But the main purpose of this pond is also to recharge the groundwater. So this is one thing, one query I wanted to know. Why? Because our focus is
So
also on the groundwater
basically,
recharge.
under this project, this as I submitted earlier, this project is largely revolves around water for in the interest of farmers. We are not using these structure as
Mhm.
such as the water recharging structures. These are largely the water storage tanks. So that's why we
Mhm.
don't want the water to sit
Okay.
down. For water ground recharging structures, we have created another set of around 570 ponds throughout the district that are again no lining ponds, which are primarily used for the water recharge. But these are water storage structures largely for giving round the clock water availability to a farmer, which could be further pumped to drip irrigation set.
Okay. And basically, I was there in Himachal because these small schemes are very useful. But what I found that once their maintenance is an issue basically. Uh, so their sustainability, and we create these structures, these clusters, and these. But after that, sufficient mechanism is not there. Funds are not there for their sustainability. So on that line also, you should make sure that these clusters run smoothly even after they are completed. So that is a because that is my experience as seen in the field.
Sir, it's a very important observation, and actually, this issue was deliberated on the ground at length. Larger issue comes when the maintenance is being asked by the community members. We have created water use associations at the local level, and those water use associations are largely responsible for maintenance. What we have observed that the we have not given the scheme totally free of cost to anybody. Largely, the component of the government scheme and some percentage being taken from the farmers in the view in lieu of some laying of the pipe, digging of the pond, some local labor and all. So I think, sir, so far in the last 1.5 year, we have seen this model in a sustainable mode. But yes, it has to be more watched upon that it should not go in direction of non-sustainability. So.
Thank you, Dr. Pios. Your efforts will definitely make a difference to the lives of the people. And
Thank you.
now we move to the next speaker. Next speaker, Mr. Sasiranjan from Kunti. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak and share my experiences on the ground. Sir, actually, I am Deputy Commissioner of Puti District, sir. This is particularly a travel belt area, sir, and this is situated on the Chotanagpur Plateau, sir. So when you come such district, sir, you will find that the entire region is the plateau, and if you go from one place to one another place, you will find that the topography of the places is like one. You will find the ridge, top of the hill, like that thing, and then tar area, then settlement, human settlement, and then you will find Don area, and then Nala will come. So you will find that this type of pattern is all throughout in the plateau region, sir. So when you go in this area, the when rainfall occurs, the runoff of the water is quite high, sir. In the particularly in the rainy season, and then what happens, no ground recharge because of the slope in each area, so ground water recharge is quite poor. And second thing is, sir, that the society combination in this area is like tribal people are dominant here, so they have very strong bonding with each other. So anything if you convince in their gram sabha, they are agreed to do whatever is beneficial for them. So keeping these two in the mind, sir, what district administration has decided that with one team, we used to go in the Gram Sabha, talk with the people about the water conservation. So the idea came is like, why can't we make Bodi Bandh in every panchayat? So we just initiated this idea with one panchayat, sir, initially, and we started convincing people कि if we stop the water, तो गांव का पानी गांव में रहेगा, खेत का पानी खेत में रहेगा. Because what happens, sir, here only one crop is dominant, like rice cultivation is quite dominant, sir. So what happens that during the monsoon break, if monsoon break is more than 7 days or 10 days, then the water, because of the lack of irrigation facility, this crop is about to die. So once they find that this body bath is very useful during the monsoon break or also for recharging the water, then they started doing it with the community participation. So for this purpose, sir, what we did that we arranged few materials like uh, this cement bora from the different construction site to these villages. We arranged it. We also motivated few people, the local leaders also, to participate or do the Saramdan in this area. So once we convinced these people, they started making a check of Bora Bandh in their own panchayat. So uh, uh, from the first point, what we find that in one panchayat we are able to convince the people, make the check of the Bora Bandh, saw that what kind of changes it is happening on the ground, how it is giving a fruitful result in the agriculture area, sir. because earlier it is very dominant in the tribal area that they go for only world cultivation, but because of the availability of the Bora Bandh, and now they can see the water is available there, they are going for the Rabi crop also. So this is quite a few positive changes, sir. And whenever we are making the Bora Bandh, we are also ensuring that it should stay for the longer period of time. So for that purpose, we used to go for the tree plantation in those in the periphery of this Bora Bandh area, sir. So and also we found that in the few villages, what the travelers, what the people are doing, that they are showing the vegetables, cash crops also there. So there it is converting in the economy also, sir. They are getting a benefit of around like 30,000 or 40,000 in one season. So whosoever land has gone in the Bora Bandh, they are now getting benefit out of it. So now the people are convinced enough that okay, this Bora Bandh is sufficiently successful for their economy, rural economy. And now what we are finding, sir, when we made the Bora Bandh, now in the low-lying area, we are making a well through Narega. So when we are making the well in the Narega, we are finding that in the summer season also there is an increase of water availability like by 3 to 4 feet in those area, in those particular nala area, stream area, sir. So this is quite a good change or positive change on the ground. uh, what uh, what was the major concept in this area, sir? That we go for the first we start communicating the people that how and what is the benefit of these people. Then we started convincing the local leaders that they should come forward. And at many places we found that there is issue of land because this is a very localized Boraband area. So there is issue of land. So when we show them the benefits that okay, you can earn through the fishery also, you can earn through the vegetable farming also, and you have free availability of the tree saplings from the government side. So now they are happy to engage in this. So community participation approach created changes in the on the ground. So after successful investment in one panchayat, sir, what we did that we asked people from other panchayat to visit those areas. So now we are conducting Gram Sabha with the help of these people. So Gram Sabha, people of one panchayat is coming to this panchayat to attend this and try to learn about the participative approach, and then they find that this is quite a beneficial change. And with this help, sir, in the last season, before the rainy season, sir, we infiltrate in 25 panchayats, sir, and we made around 2,000 200 Bora Bandh, sir, in the first go, sir. And we used like 20,000 people Shram Dan, who came forward and participated in this one, sir. And the benefits we are getting here now, sir, is like they are like water recharge in the dry season also, sir, because they are getting the water. Because, sir, here you will find that water is available at around 500 feet, 600 feet below the ground. So it's quite difficult to do the do the irrigation in those areas. So now they can see the water, so they can do the at least little cultivation around little farming around this water body, sir. Second is like the soil erosion. Because of the hilly terrain, the soil erosion is quite high, sir. So soil erosion has also been checked with through the this Bora Bandh, sir. And third is like a sense of community ownership has been given to the people. Because after construction of the Bora Bandh, all the liability will lie with the people of those areas only, sir. So they have the feeling of the community participation. And its great success is because the cost benefit analysis, sir, because the cost is quite low in this respect, because we are investing only around 10,000 to 15,000 in one Bora Bandh area. So there is no huge cost investment. And initially we mobilized the resources through Narega also, sir, through SC, a special central assistance program also, sir. So and we also use few NGOs who can go in this who can understand and make people understand in their local language, because Mundari is predominant here, sir. So these local people helped a lot in the construction of these Bora Bandhs, and also the sustainability that you can go now also in the villages, and you can find that okay, these are the positive changes. And so this is the first change we are seeing on the ground, sir. And with these changes, we are going deep in the ground, because these are particularly LWE areas, sir, left wing extremist areas, sir. And in many places you find that Gram Sabha is so strong that then you have to take the permission of the Gram Sabha to organize any meeting with the people. So with this way, we are able to infiltrate in those areas, and we are seeing that particularly women are coming forward to get engaged with us and to make a give the participate in the Saramdan process, sir. So I think this is a very positive change, sir. With the time, we have also introduced duckery apart from the fish farming to as a livelihood opportunity both for those people who are participating or who are the part of the SHG. And also very recently, we have also given the egg hatchery to these people for the who are having ducks in their house. So overall, there is a positive changes, sir, and we have also found that there is an increase in the income by 10 to 20,000 per annum, sir. So this is a greater chance to increase this Buraband area in the another other interior area also, sir. That's from my side, sir. That is my experience, sir, in the Kuri district.
Thank you, Sasi, for sharing your wonderful experiences and wonderful work you are doing on the ground. That is more praiseworthy when because you are doing for tribal people which are not that privileged. So this effort I've seen from the morning from district level at different level that will definitely make a difference to the life of the people. My only suggestions here was that this is nothing but water harvesting on tributaries and all, you are calling
Yes,
Boraban, and sometimes these are done on an unplanned way because on the same tributaries we are planning upstream, downstream. So if we can go some sort of planning. Because you can take help of a water source department or some any other expert in NGO, we can do some broad planning. Okay, here depending upon the location, depending upon this topography, where these can be planned, so that if we do in upstream, some structure already there in downstream is not impacted. So if that way, I will not call it a master plan, but some sort of planning is there. So that is always helpful. So and you are already taking help of all the community and they are participating, so that way sustainability will be ensured if we have the participation of all the people. So thank
sir.
you very much.
One
Yeah,
thing, one thing I want to add here, sir, that we
yeah,
are taking the help of the GIS database that where we can make this Bora Bandh in these areas because it's
right.
as you said, sir. Because if you make the upstream, then downstream there will be no water. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's quite possible,
That
sir.
is
So
best.
we are taking the use of the GIS for the also construction of the wells, Mandrega well. So Mandrega well is like a huge add-on to their Bora Bandh thing. So
Yeah,
people used to come forward now that okay, sir, we want a one Mandega Kuwa because the Mandega Kuwa cost is like 3.5 lakh rupees and it is being given by the Mandega. So we have to maintain the labor material ratio in the district also. So we are
mm,
taking both approach, sir. That is the carrot approach that you if you make the Boraban, we will give the Mandega well to this to you people. So yeah, yes, sir. Your suggestion is quite well taken, sir, and we will ensure that we will take the help of more GIS survey so that we can able to have a sustainability of the system, sir.
thank you, thank you.
Sir.
uh, Thank you, Sasi Ranjan. And now we have more. Vishal Mishra has not joined yet, I think, and so is K. Mahesh. Then I had a small presentation. Definitely, I will be talking on the national perspective. You people are doing the work on the ground. So till both my fellow joins, I can uh, give my talk, which is on ensuring water security in the country. My thoughts. So I am sharing uh, my presentation is coming now. Hello, hello. Is the presentation coming?
No, sir, not visible.
No,
Not
sir.
visible now.
It's not.
Okay. Yeah. Now I think Uh, it is there.
Yes, yes. I think it's started, sir.
It started. Thank you.
Ensuring water security in the country.
Yeah. So basically, as I told you that I will be presenting national perspective about the water security in the country. And water security basically doesn't mean only providing affordable access to clean water for different sector, but also taking care of our water sources like river, groundwater, lakes, pond also. Both things are covered. Uh, so this thing already a lot have been talked since morning. So I will only thing I will say that though on overall annual precipitation point of view we are comfortable, but when we see the per capita water availability we are not that comfortable, and we are already below this water stress line, which is around 1700 meter cube per year per capita. uh, and our demands because of increase in population, because of the development and industrialization are increasing every year. Presently our demand may be around 750 bcm, and still one doesn't know what is the precise water we are using today. There is not a framework available which can capture how much water we are using, how efficiently we are using the water. So there is a need to, we can put up a framework to capture this data of water utilization also. And though even this whole water may be available, so we another problem we face is that lot of variability in the water availability. Rainfall is received only maybe effectively for 30 days, and some part like western ghats and northeastern part receive more rainfall, and there are not that lucky are deficit. So there is a naturally hydrological imbalance in the country, and we have to address for the national water security. So these are the measures I would like to say. Already, it is nothing new. That we have to conserve the rainwater. What we are getting rain for 2 to 3 months. Unless we conserve that water, the it will not be able to serve the people and meet the demand of the water. And here only thing I will say that all type of measures are needed apart from the natural conservation processes. We keep on hearing talk about small versus large dam, groundwater versus surface water, and micro versus mini. And to me this talk is meaningless. Our water problems are so acute that all we need, we have the role of all this all rainwater harvesting sector, and including this large reservoir also, uh, because both have its own advantage and limitations. Small, it is so widespread, no RNR is used, so these can be easily constructed. And but we do have sometimes reliability issues in during the drought year, and of course there are maintenance issues. And with Jal Shakti Abhiyan launched last year, and this of course this water harvesting through small structure ponds and rainwater harvesting is getting due attention, and lot of good work is being carried out. Uh, and then this medium and large reserve also have a big role to play. Of course, we have a very limited site in the country, and there are R&R issues and environmental issues when we do it, and a project take a long time to be completed, and large capital is required. But during a drought year or this one, there is a reliability and there is a cost effectiveness, and because there is a scale also. If I talk about Sardar Sarovar project, if we want to replicate Sardar Sarovar project through these small structures, it will require about 5 million of such type of structures. So that way, the role we have role for this all type of structure, all type the this one water conservation efforts. So this is one thing I wanted to start. Next is that we say that water is primarily a state subject, and but what we find that multiple department and stakeholders are working in this sector, and they have everybody has their own priorities and compulsion. So there is a need for a multidisciplinary empowered agency for integrated water sources management at least at basin level. I was listening to Israel expert. He was saying that centralized management, the centralized management is not possible in our country, and that is not advisable also. But management, planning, and some sort of regulation at basin level is very much desired. So I hope then one bill, river basin management, is under consideration in ministry, and this will see that some type of effort is made, and we have some regulating structure at least basin level to take care of this multiplicity of stakeholder. So this is one measure we would like to have. Second is that we have developed so much water structure so far, and there are issues of their maintenance and water use efficiencies. Many speakers have already talked about in the morning also that these water structures created over the year, they are not being maintained, managed efficiently. Water efficiency is low. There is a gap between IPC and IPU. I will not go into detail much. There is a lot of leakage. Even in Delhi, if we see 30 to 40% of water is leaked when we supply the water for the drinking water. And, uh, and then I have been to many states, and there I find that sufficient funds and manpower is not available for their maintenance, because recovery is not there from the agriculture sector. And though now there is a stress on community participant, still in irrigation sector, participation of beneficiaries is still low, and we have to work a lot. Now in under PM KSY schemes, and under various ongoing program, this groundwater scheme, now focus is giving on PIM, participatory irrigation management. And what I suggest that this at least for major project we can do the benchmarking, because for what purpose they were planned, whether they are serving that purpose or not, whether there are deficiencies, what intervention we can make, that will be visible. A portal can be made, so that will infuse competition with among various projects. And because of the manpower in this state sector and irrigation sector, what I need that there is a need for private participation, like we have done for this electricity distribution or electricity transmission. On similar line, we can also think that this canal conveyance can be outsourced to a private player. Of course, we have to develop a mechanism where from the out this headwork to where it is supplied to the farmers or to the city, we can do put a volumetric measurable system. But that will be helpful, because day by day this department which are manning these water structures are manpower is depleting day by day. So this is this one. And next is basically I belong to LUDA, which is doing interlinking of river of in the country. So this is also one intervention which can address the water security, because in interbasin we plan to transfer water from the surplus water basins or areas to deficit basins, deficit areas. And NW, a master plan has been made. There are 30 links have been identified, through which around 150 BCM of water can be made usable. And with that, we can add 35 million hectare of more irrigation potential, and of course serving to other, like providing drinking water industry and flood control, this other benefit also. So even half of this uh, effort, if half of these projects are materialized, this will make a lot of difference to the water security in the country. And already there are many successful interbasin transfers. Periyar Vegai link from Western Ghat to this Tamil Nadu side, the Kurnool Kudappa Canal, Telugu Ganga Canal, and Ghagra Sarda in UP. This Punjab में Madhur Vyas. So many already success stories are there, where we are transferring water from the Sardar Sarovar is there, from where it is supplying water from Namda to Sabarmati, and taking water to even Rajasthan. And I was posted in UP. Saryu Nehar Pariyojana is ongoing. It is interlinking 5 rivers, taking water from Ghagra to Saryu to Rapti to Banganga, and then one more river is there. So lot of success stories there already there. So but still this. As far as this national perspectives there, we have done a lot of studies, and many of the projects are already ready for the implementation. This one These 4 projects have been identified as priority projects, and they're all DPRs, and this RD, and a lot of clearances already have been taken. This is the Ken Betwa link project, which is hub is basically Dudhan Dam. Dudhan Dam will basically conserve the flood water to the tune of 3 BCM, and it will be a life game changer for the water security of this Bundelkhand region. And but still the interlinking is not proceeding that well on the ground. There are many issues. Most of the state they don't agree that they have surplus water. So this is one thing, that agreement among state for agreeing that they have surplus water which can be transferred to other areas, and this one. Then there is already a constitution of National Interlinking River Authority in the ministry, on the line of NHI, that can take up this implementation of ILR projects. And of course, this ILR project are very capital intensive project. Center Federal government has to fund to major chunk, and proposal is already there for 90-10 funding, and we have to manage the resources from other sources also. So that was all I wanted to say from a national perspective point of view. Thank you. Any more queries from my panelist, or any query, I will be happy to uh, 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 respond. And yeah, meanwhile, we have any other panelist joining, Mr. Mishra or Mr. K. Mahesh. I don't think they are able to. Yeah. Or
Sorry, there was a
yeah.
call on the other line. Mr. Mahesh, as I informed you, sir, he would not be able to join, and so is the case
Okay.
with Mr. Mishra also, because there is some
Okay.
problem there in Rudrapur, Udham Singh Nagar. So they have just texted me.
Okay.
Uh, uh, if you are through, then we can take it forward.
Yeah, I'm through, and I would like to thank all my fellow panelists who are doing the wonderful job on the ground, and
May cheer
I
for
should, yeah, and I hope that good work which they have started, that will continue, and will make a lot of difference to the life of the people and the sector.
Yeah, of
Now
course,
over
and
to,
sir.
over to Ms. Haji.
Yeah, I must say that you have been able to manage it and moderate it very, very well. And contrary to most of the panels, this panel is one of those which is being able to be finished just on time. So thank you once again to all the esteemed panelists. We had a varied state representation from Jharkhand, from Uttar Pradesh, and from J&K. So central perspective was given by Director General of National Water Development Agency, Mr. Gopal Singh, who gave us a very varied perspective of what is being done throughout the country from the central government point of view. And from the states, Dr. Piyush Singla was able to put up very aptly as far as what interventions are concerned in J&K, or Mr. Baibhav Shrivastava from Raebareli, the district minister of Raebareli, and Mr. Shashi Ranjan, young officer from Jharkhand. So with this, we conclude this day-long session. It has been a very, very wonderful and enriching experience for all of us and all of those who are hearing to us. The deliberations of this National Water Innovation Summit will be documented in the form of an event report. And we hope that this event report and this day-long deliberation will be able to make some meaningful contribution to the overall development sector, whether it is technologies, whether they are innovations, and whether it is going to our old age traditional methods of conserving water and managing the water. Before I conclude, I again want to remind that we have a very interesting award ceremony today from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, which will be presided over by the Secretary, Ministry of Jal Shakti, wherein we have attempted to recognize and reward some of the most outstanding efforts and some of the most outstanding practices in the field of water conservation and management. Do join us in that award ceremony, and I would also request my technical team to please present a small token of appreciation, a certificate of participation. This certificate of participation goes to Mr. Gopal Singh, the Director General of National Water Development Agency. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for chairing this session as well as moderating this session. Thanks so much. The next certificate of participation is for Mr. Vaibhav Srivastav. He is the Collector and District Magistrate, Raebareli, UP. He has just taken over the charge of Raebareli, so we wish him all the best in his new assignment. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, then the next certificate is for Dr. Piyush Singla, the District Development Commissioner, Udhampur and J&K. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And the last certificate goes to Mr. Shashi Ranjan, the Deputy Commissioner of Khunti, Government of Jharkhand. Thank you, Mr. Shashi Ranjan, for joining us. And do join us in the evening for the award ceremony also. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.